Hello, and welcome to Jarviskjir Narashiro Nights, the show of absolutely good characters that don't do any bad deeds at all. Feels like it's been a little while. I got moths, so basically I just have more viewers than normal, with all the frickin' moths around. I hate it. Oh yeah, flash your tea, why don't you? Oh, wait. Oh, anyway. Hey, how you doing? It's been a while, so my brain is particularly bad.
I personally am doing great. Voss, not so much. Would love to take a little nap, to be completely honest.
Oh, well, we'll get to that in a second.
Weren't we going to try and do that at the end of the last thing?
No.
We haven't tried yet. No,
You did the thing of, oh, we'll just check this room before we'll take a rest, and that never works. Ever.
No. No, Rakath's doing well. He pinned a boy to the floor with pittons, and
Oh, I forgot that you low-key crucified that dude to the ground.
he's a zombie.
That's
It's fine.
I helped.
You did help, which I appreciate. And I want to go check on our musician friend and just see how he's doing.
Why don't we first give a brief recap
of
this Underdark game? You guys are in here because an Ebimari Mind Flayer diplomat from the Mind Flayer kingdom of Ebimari is basically said that some weapon has gone missing. Casual, no problem, and thinks there's some kind of foul play involved. You're going in here to look around to investigate, and you found fungal zombies in this drow warehouse deep in the bowels of Narashiro. You're in here with the blue tinged stone, there's cobwebs in every corner, the kind of crinkly, kind of papery shells, sign of insects that have been here long past, and a huge, pulsing, purple mass of fungal network that kind of spreads from around this locked door, beating as if it had a heart. And the lot of you wandering around this area, you just saw into the next chamber that has this huge purple growth. The fungus is this very distinct dark purple with this bright purple that kind of blinks and glows and pulses through it. And the question is, what do you guys want to do? There is a fungal zombie pinned to the ground in this chamber. There's also one that was a Quaggoth, a slave race that has been utterly eviscerated.
I would like to go back and check on our musician friend to see if he is still outside.
You go in and check back outside, and you glance out, and immediately you don't hear the music, and you don't see him either in the kind of nook of a doorway that he was sitting in.
Okay,
Amongst the rubble.
In that case, I'm going to go back in and pick up my ball bearings off the ground from around the fungal zombie, and I'm going to place those in the dark corridor leading into our
into like
location.
the main room, into the main room, or into like little corner that you're in right now.
You know that because the way that it was set up was a doorway into and then a little winding path down. I'm going to put it into the dark area of the path.
Yeah.
Going to be putting them there. And then I'm also, hold on, I'm just going to look and see what I've got to, help out with that.
Why don't I give you a little bit of help?
Sure.
William N. Graham.
That would be lovely, thank you. The problem is, I am blind.
You're also in like the wrong side of the map, but that's fine.
Yeah.
We're like way down here. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
I guess I'm going over...
I can take a step back if needed. I was just sitting here literally aiming, and that's it.
Yes.
Well,
so that's you looked in here, Torum. You see this growth. You kind of hear the shambling of feet dragging against the stone of the ground, and you're just in Overwatch position there, and that's a-okay. You're putting it... Rakath, you do need to stumble around in here, but I know where you're going.
So basically, like, in this path, I want to put the ball bearings down, and then I do want to have. So I can't really tell too far. How wide is the entrance into this room that I'm still in here on the map?
So, in D&D map terms, 5 feet, but realistically 3 feet. It's like a little narrow, winding corridor that comes in. So absolutely a ball bearing spray fills that entryway perfectly.
Great. And then between the two walls, the 5 feet, I'd like to create a trap utilizing some of the string that I have. That will then, if the string breaks, essentially just knock over my hooded lantern by the wall to make a little bit of noise.
You're gonna have to put your lantern by the wall, which Torum has right now. Or does Torum have his own lantern?
Torum has his own lantern, I believe.
I'm gonna make a clone lantern. Put it here.
Yeah, and I don't want it on right now. I just want it off. I literally want to use it to. I'm sorry, but it can be on. Sure, no, it can be on. That's. Do
you want it? You can have it on like a little bit, like the candle's still flickering, etc., etc.
Just a little bit.
A little.
Oh, you know what I want? You know what I want? I want to set up the string so that it pulls the lantern hood up and makes
that is going to be a check. Unfortunately, there is no engineering check anymore, so just an intelligence.
Intelligence? Okay. I was gonna say I could do sleight of hand for that one because that's kind of a very fine.
I will allow sleight of hand.
All right.
I'm willing to allow this.
Oh,
that's a rough one. 10.
You do set it up. It's who knows.
As long as I've set it up in a way that if it pulls up the hood, great. If it knocks the whole thing over, also fine. It'll make enough noise. That's.
There is string between the doorway.
Right.
Like the idea of just in the middle of we're like preparing for the next fight, we hear, in the other room.
That's the hope. So I'm gonna then move back into our room here with everybody else. Hello. And I'm just gonna say I've set up a little surprise for guests if they decide to come through. I don't know exactly how well it's set up, but it hopefully will do the trick. My hood and lantern on the door should hopefully either light up that room or fall down and make some noise. We're hoping that they'll just fall, though, because I've put down ball bearings in the doorway.
Oh, how fun.
Yes, I thought so.
And just so you all know, seeing into your possible futures is very taxing, and I can't do it anymore until I get a nice nap in.
Well, we could go back into the room behind us and set that up. We could rest there, and that way if the lantern does trigger and lights up, we'll see them right away. And it will also wake us if we are napping. Option.
Unfortunately, I would need a much longer nap than I think we could possibly take in that room. But I will still assist you in any further way possible going forward.
Right.
I am just out of spell slots.
How much of a rest does anybody else need?
I wouldn't mind taking a moment to catch my breath, as it were. I'm just like pulling off pieces of armor, and there's just like blood seeping off of me. Like,
Rakath is gonna walk over and start working with your skin there to help seal you up.
I only got hit once, but it was a critical hit, if I'm not mistaken. So.
I believe that's correct. Yeah. I will start to help seal those wounds if possible, and you know. Mm-hmm. But I do think if we're going to rest, we should go into the other room so we can be ready in case anybody comes through, and also puts us one spot away from whatever's through the next door.
I agree. I can keep Overwatch. I'm mostly fine.
I'm going to set up over here, and I am also fine. So I am going to Well, keep overwatch with you as well, Torum.
Just so you know, if you're planning to take a long rest...
Short.
I don't think we can take a long rest.
Short
Andy.
rest.
I was just gonna say, short rest.
I would like a long
comments
rest.
on.
Yeah, Yuna would like a
I
long
would like a
rest.
sleep.
Yeah. A nice little nappy nap.
Not quite a nap. A full sleep, please.
I will say this is the door.
Yes.
So we probably don't want to be line of sight from the door if they're coming through, because I'd like them to trip over that string. That's
I will go
actually,
and kind of sit down behind these boxes and lean against the wall.
I'll put an alarm spell as a ritual over
that. You
somewhere
know,
over there.
that would have probably been better.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. But that's
it'd be fun. Yeah,
I did have fun, and I like stretching my creative brain muscles.
Yeah.
So,
So where are we
But
setting
I'm
up?
not going to do that. I'm just going to cast alarm.
yeah, that's also fair. So this is the doorway. So I'm actually just going to set up here. I'm going to try and lie down and look like I am a decrepit zombie corpse. Not particularly difficult for Rakath, I think.
I'm gonna be standing against the wall, just still in the darkness. And a statue.
And you're gonna take a short rest. That's okay.
Taking a short rest.
Allow Voss
right.
to repair his wounds.
Patch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get the spell slot back.
Rakath and Torum, can you give me deception checks, please?
Deception or perception? I missed what you said. Deception. Thank you.
For big dickception.
Oh no.
10.
Consistency.
So during
It's
that
not much
rest,
of a corpse.
that one goblin that got away sneaks into the room, creeping around on all fours, sniffing about, but then seems to see Rakath and skitters back away.
That's fine.
Other than that, nothing really happens during your hour of rest. It's not necessarily silent here. You can kind of hear sound through the thick walls of stone. Narashiro being one of these cities that's very dense, that's not strange. You are hearing, carts being wheeled around outside and deals being made in the shady, ruinous area we're in, as well as creaks and groans, particularly from that zombie nailed to the ground, as well as who knows what else that's kind of echoing through the halls of this place. And if you really concentrate and zone everything else out, you can hear a pulsing, beating noise. But other than that, you rest fine.
Great.
I am going to actually go back to that zombie on the ground. He was here, right? I want to move. Oh, hey, here he is, right here. Okay, I'm gonna try and calm him down and just sit with him for a moment. And I know it's weird; it's a zombie, but I want him to stop making noise. Which there are other ways I could do that, but I'm trying not to be a horrible thing, And I do also want to study him later, so I'm going to be a horrible thing later.
So it's kind of relevant when you look at this thing. It's actually not making much noise. The most of the noise it's making is its limbs scraping against the ground, which makes a kind of wet sort of mushy sound. Sometimes dry because it's the skin is flaky on some layers of this creature. But it's not groaning like a zombie would in most fantasy. It's just you can hear it trying to move despite being pinned to the ground. And it's not like it's trying to wrench itself out. It's just moving.
Right.
There's
Still
just a
trying to move
constant
forward.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I'm not going to worry about it too much then.
It's when you kind of sit there and be like, oh, maybe I can... there is nothing sentient or sapient about it, Yeah. It's not like you can convince it to be quiet or stop moving. It's just a blank thing in the shape of a drow. Or most likely a hobgoblin.
With that in mind, can I make any kind of check to kind of determine if this thing has a soul?
I suppose that would be either for you a medicine check, I guess.
Sure. Well, that's better. 19.
Kind of looking over it, it is clear, other than it just being a theory, that this is the corpse of something being inhabited by this mushroom network. Yeah. This creature probably had a soul before it was taken over. The interesting thing to you is, does some kind of hive-based network have souls? Seemingly whatever this is, there's no sentience or sapience. And really the term soul is used for sentient creatures, mostly. Sometimes other people use the term essence for creatures that aren't sentient. Kind of almost as an interchangeable term. So it most likely would have essence, but not a soul.
Right. Okay. Interesting. It's just very interesting because Tanum actually said specifically about Torum that he had a soul, not essence. And so Rakath is racking that around in his brain. Anyways.
Cool. He's kind of sits down there for, a couple of minutes doing that. What does the rest of you do?
I am going to have a snack. Maybe make some tea.
That's during your short
as much
rest.
as possible. Little
in
room.
this dark chamber, which actually isn't that dark because you two are drow. So it's fine for you guys.
Torum's sitting in the doorway, just realizing that he wants to be closer to this way because that's where the fighting's going to be, but also he's not leaving the room Yuna's in.
Yeah, once I'm done.
Make him a little snack.
Make him a
Much
little
appreciated.
snack.
Implying Voss isn't already a little snack.
Ooh!
Got him. Yeah, I'm going to basically just kind of after I'm done patching myself up and apparently indulging in whatever snack Yuna's bringing over, just
Goblin flesh.
get my stuff, stand up, walk over and say to the group, we should move. We've already lingered here long enough.
But don't we have to wait for Rakath to come back?
He's there.
Is he there? Back? Okay.
He's just in a different room to you right now. He's investigating the corpse, right?
Yeah.
Not a corpse yet. Zombie.
I've come up with this term for this. I think I'm going to call it a zombie.
I mean, technically everything is a corpse. Some of them just have souls still attached.
I would argue that without actually losing the soul or the essence, it is not yet a corpse. That is the distinction. The corpse is what is without a soul or an essence. But that's being pedantic.
I would also offer
It
Rakath.
is. I'm just gonna walk into the other room.
Offer Rakath a snack?
Yes.
Ooh.
And Torum.
What kind of snacks do you have available?
What do you offer to
We have this dried meat that I have chopped up into little cute squares.
Oh, absolutely.
And this bread.
My favorite.
And we
Bread.
put these together and we can call it a sandwich.
A sandwich
Yes.
is a sandwich.
It is when you take 2 pieces of bread and you put something in the middle. Isn't it lovely?
Can you put anything in the middle?
Hey, Tom and Voss, can you give me
so.
perception checks? No,
Yeah.
keep going, by all means.
So anything. You can put anything in the middle.
As long as it's edible.
As long as it's edible. So if I put Voss's head in between between 2 pieces of bread,
Then it would be a Voss sandwich.
it'll be a Voss sandwich.
It's when that happens. Torm and Voss, you've both been hearing, been trying to listen to the ambient noise of this place while being on alert, while taking your rest as well. And there's a noise that you thought was just kind of part of the noise here, because there was almost groaning in the chambers, both north and south of the room you were resting in. But you hear a bloody sputtering very far in the distance the other way. through the chambers, like someone dying. The fact you haven't been hearing it until now means that they've probably been dying for some time and are kind of in their death throes. You know, Voss in particular would know that. It's like the sound of someone who's ended up with blood in their lungs and not long for this world. But that can be a slow death sometimes.
There's someone coming. This is coming from the north.
This is coming from the north, the way the goblin ran off to.
Gotcha. That's what I thought. Okay.
Sounds like quite a ways away. Like the sound is going through quite a few corridors and stuff. But it's you know, it's a very different, distinct noise that you notice.
Mm-hmm.
We should probably make sure that nothing will come at us from behind.
Yeah, I'll just look to the others, assuming Torm also heard that based on what you just said.
Yeah.
We're not alone down here. There's someone else. Or something else. Aside from the goblins, it seems. Someone is in grave need of medical attention that way.
I follow your lead, then.
Let's go check it out, gang.
I hear lots of thud, 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 thud. He's moving, just waiting
That's the sound side of me running dungeons, is that there's a lot of keyboard mashing.
Yeah.
There's actually, so do you know there's actually a couple of adjustments they just made to Roll20? And I say just because I don't know when, but they gave me a little notification about it recently. I'm going to real quickly take control of Voss. When you're controlling with your mouse, you can right-click to put little markers now. Just like you could with other ways, but it's just on right-click, so it's way easier to do than ever before. And you can also press X to undo your last movement. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
pretty
God.
useful.
Look at him go.
Because you used to be able to do this, but it was a different button combination I couldn't remember. Now it's just hold left click, press right click. So much more useful for calculating the way we do our battle maps here. So.
Well, after I'm done sprinting a couple laps around the room,
a lot
start
jogging
heading up
routine.
this way. Oh, there's a goblin around the corner.
The goblin is there, actually hanging from the pit. So it's the wooden floorboards that kind of branch half of this pit and leaves a big hole here. It seems like the goblin tried to jump across back over here, or maybe fell. And he's like hanging with his fingers, kind of wiggling and squirming a little bit.
Cool. I'm gonna walk over to him without. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if goblins speak common, but I guess we're gonna find out, or undercommon rather. But I'm just going to lean over the edge without touching him and just say, "Do you speak the common tongue?"
Yes! Help!
Do you wish to live?
Yes! Help!
Very well. Then you will answer some questions for me once I pull you out of this pit.
Yes, yes!
Cool. I'm gonna reach down and like basketball palm the top of his head and pick him up out of the pit.
There are 0 rolls for that. You can easily lift a non-struggling goblin. It's a particularly small and scrawny specimen as well.
Perfect. Then I'm just gonna kind of shift so that I'm holding him like this between Rakath and myself.
Yeah, we can scooch him over here. And you over there.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of, it's not even struggling. It's just limp in your arms. Kind of looking like a sad puppy.
I will then just like place him on the ground, and then just fold my arms and look down to him and say, "What is that ungodly noise coming from this corridor?"
Yeah. Dying, Black One.
A drow. Who
God,
was he?
God.
By what or who?
The things! The monster things! Evil things in this place.
You mean like the corpses? And I'll look to Rakath.
No! Dead things don't move.
Thank you.
They move.
Finally, someone with some sense.
How many of your kind are down here?
Well, there was I, and my brother, and my brother, and our guardian, and you killed them all.
So it's
just I.
you. Very
Yes.
well. Perhaps Una will have some use for you. And I will just then turn around.
I
towards
am
the
very
pit.
useful.
Oh,
I can
like
count
him.
to 2.
Oh, he can count to 2. Yeah, we're gonna keep him.
They're getting a collection.
I'm gonna try to jump across the pit.
Athletics check.
Who has
Yeah.
a backpack?
Let's see how this goes.
Who wants
Rakath
to
apparently
carry
has
the
a... He is really small. He's like barely 2 feet tall.
All right.
He's
I will
really
pick him
small
up.
for a goblin.
And put him in Torm's backpack.
I was gonna say, you can put it in my backpack. I'm happy to be the Luke Skywalker.
Torum is like more able to like kind of move around with a heavy object on his back, I suppose.
That's almost. I mean, he would have a hard time seeing around the hump and the lump and the.
Oh,
if you were
yeah. The just like kind of putting a dog in a handbag. The
Yeah.
goblin just kind of allows itself to get picked up again and put in the bag, and like it's like long nose kind of like snuffs out over the rim of the backpack.
Adorable. I'll give him scritches. Like behind the ears.
It flinches away in
Aw.
complete terror.
That's fair.
With that, while that's happening, Voss effortlessly jumps onto the other side. The floorboards creak with unease under your heavy armored form, but do not fall through.
I'm
Believe
then
gives
I'm
you
gonna
some credence to shoddy goblin construction.
I'm gonna take some rope out of my bag and like toss one end of it across to Rakath.
I am the worst person for this, as I have no dark vision.
You get,
You know what?
You left 2 lanterns in the room behind you.
I was like, Tor has a
Torm has a
I had
lid.
the lantern on me. I'm holding it.
You know what? I'm actually
Oh,
gonna go back
okay.
and get.
Fair.
I'm gonna go back
That
and
is
get my
the best
lantern.
use.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get
You
my lantern.
give the goblin kind of like it has a hard time holding it. It's like leans over trying to carry the heavy thing with both arms. And like it's a goblin as well, so it's like it's bright. His eyes kind of like narrow, real sharp.
I'm going to pick up my lantern.
Okay, let me give
I
you
will
control
pick
of
up
this.
the rope
lantern.
that he tossed, and I
Thank
will
you.
pull it taut, so that
Yeah.
like you can go over.
What I'm gonna do basically with the rope, with my end of it, is essentially wrap it around myself and move to the back here and act as like an anchor, so that you
Yeah,
guys
and
can
I will
hold
do
the
the same.
rope.
That
and then
has
try to
never
jump
gone
over,
wrong ever.
right? And then if you fall, then hopefully the rope will catch you.
Okay, who wants to go next?
I'm not back yet. I'm working on that. I gotta move a lantern now.
You
and
can
myself.
group you two together.
Yeah,
I screwed that up. Is what? There we go. Okay, it's now working. I just screwed it up last time.
Remember when before the stream when I said you're really talented, Will? Take
Yeah,
that
no.
back.
You should definitely not have said that. It's a mistake.
So there's a nice rope taut over the pit. Remember, down in the pit is just ruins and jagged floorboards from where this fell through. And, a couple of skulls, some rats.
I don't know if I can make that jump.
You got the rope.
well, that's why we had the rope.
Even with the rope. Okay, I use the rope. Do I have to roll?
It's an athletics with advantage with the rope, or acrobatics with advantage, depending on kind of how you do it. Because it's
Oh, okay. I can do an acrobatics.
yeah,
roll.
it's a small pit. You can kind of get away with doing either.
Ooh,
That's fine. You're fine.
I guess I will go next since you're holding the rope.
Probably a good idea.
All right, acrobatics with advantage.
Hey, I'm gonna do something. Yes, I'm gonna give Tesh control of the goblin, and then you can group all 3 of you together.
Yeah.
That is the same roll as Una. So
Yeah,
I
that's
assume-
absolutely fine. Yeah, it's not the hardest jump. I mean, it's considering your low level adventurous, it probably is the hardest jump you've ever done. But still,
Yes.
For most
I'm a
people, it's not the
wizard.
hardest jump. Yeah.
I need people to shuffle.
Yeah. I need Well, I mean, I guess I could just move.
You can make the roll, then it's fine. This is about.
I'm just moving forward. I'm moving ahead. I have a lantern now. I can see. It's fine.
Okay, so now
Can you
I'm
roll
still
initiative, please?
Yeah, no problem.
Oh,
You'll have to
Okay,
jump
can I do
on
my
your own
acrobatics?
turn. No. You'll have to jump on your own turn. Erin!
I
Gotta
was told
click
to
your
roll initiative.
token.
I rolled initiative.
You
Sorry,
didn't
hold on.
click
I have
your
to move the
token.
lantern.
I click the token.
I can add it though. That's fine.
I can change it.
Oh yeah.
right. I could
Whatever
make sure
works.
I only click my token. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that was when I had to move the lantern off of me in order to.
Yeah, this is an appropriate initiative considering.
Is Roll20 being awfully glitchy for anybody else?
No.
It might be a little more glitchy because this is a dungeon. And
Yeah.
when it has to put any effort in, it doesn't work. it is getting better. Like, every update, Roll20 is getting noticeably better at this kind of thing. So, which might be why there's more dungeons recently. I can't... I'm really bad at the alphabet. And apparently I couldn't find Z in the alphabet just then.
I have concerns. You remember how I told you that you were really good at things and I'm glad we're working together? I don't regret that.
Are we about to fight zebras?
Yeah. It's almost like zombies.
You're gonna
might
fight
come
a
together.
zebu.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
like
fun.
It's like an ox, but it has a hump and a dewlap. Hump.
That's not like a
Not
good
what I was
idea.
expecting in this dungeon, but I accept it.
It's the animal of choice in the Underdark.
It exists. Okay.
That's
no, it
yeah,
does
no.
genuinely
Don't,
exist.
a
That
zebo
wasn't
is a
a joke.
thing. What are you on about? You don't believe me?
I mean, I had to check because you make up monsters all the time. That's what you do. So
I would never make up a zebu. Totally a real animal. Okay, Ragath, you're the one who gets to go first, so you get to hear the sound of creatures standing up. But even more than that, it sounds like the creatures that are standing up had some kind of film over them that was snapped and twisted while they stood, which immediately leads you to believe with your good medicine check that this is more of those fungal zombies animated by your presence here.
Oh, good. Well, in that case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step forward a little bit, so that hopefully I can see a little bit. Can I expand?
You can expand the lantern. How much do you want it to be?
Full blast right now, because
Full blast!
let there be light.
So you step in and like twist the hood of the lantern, and then you see
Yeah.
these two shambling corpses with the purple fungus that cascades over their body, throbbing, and you could see the places where they were stuck. One of them up against the wall with the fungus kind of film has now been snapped and kind of cascades across the ground in the crevices between the flagstones. Go.
We have some more friends. Now, I am going to step back because I took 2 steps. That's just the lantern. One moment.
Now step back right now.
All right, there. Now I can only see the one right here. And I'm going to put the lantern down beside me and shoot him with my bow. Is that...
Okay.
Do I have enough?
Yeah, you can
okay.
drop the lantern, and it's a metal lantern. I mean, admittedly, it's metal on stone, so it's not good for the lantern.
Not
but
good for it, but that's...
I don't care right now.
Yeah.
It's not too dramatic in a situation for it to care. That's a hit.
Okay.
You're shooting a zombie, mate. It's
Yeah,
not,
I know.
It's like
sometimes
you're
I
like,
forget.
and like even when firing, you're like, oh, this arrow is going wide, but like the zombie makes no attempt to move.
Yeah.
properly,
Like, oh,
so
this
it's just
is
like
gonna go.
kind of thing.
I hit one, but probably shouldn't have. It's not. Well, hurry up. And then I'm actually going to take my steps back even further. So that's, hold on. 1, 2,
I refuse to hold on.
and 5. Okay.
Okay,
And
Voss.
This is my turn.
Cool. I'm gonna hand the rope to Rakath.
Yep.
Very much just one of those like here. I'm gonna move up here, and I'm gonna take a defensive stance.
Okay. Yuna. You are muted. Which is very good for stealth in this dungeon.
I'm not a stealthy person. Or, you might want to
rogue
hurry up a little bit.
We're not a
I think
stealthy.
there's some bad guys ahead. I'm gonna move up here. I'm not gonna see anybody, and I'll prepare an action if somebody comes into view, which is only like up to here for me, which I can't ping because I don't know.
You can, I can look and see your view.
Yeah.
Annoyingly, I can't show that to the stream, but I know when you'll see things.
I
Basically,
just-
the 2 spaces directly in front of me.
Yeah.
This area.
It's like 6 spaces out, so if I see anybody, I'll cast a spell at them.
Okie dokes. What spell?
Chill touch.
I thought so.
This spell.
Yeah, you don't need to. We know what
Oh.
chill touch is. We're good.
I was gonna put the spell card, but it cast.
You can do the thing where it does both somehow. I
Mhm.
don't know how to set it up, but it's a thing.
I could show it. Well,
You know what it is.
yeah,
We all know.
it's a very chilly
Goodness,
touch.
that wasn't my roll.
Yep. Mhm.
And it's good that you set it up because immediately that zombie shambles into view. So you
Oh,
can
good.
make that attack immediately. And luckily you got that 5 and an 8 out of the way.
Yep,
But
nope,
then
still
you
doesn't
roll an
matter.
8. But it's still a hit because
It's
it's
a
a zombie!
Yeah, I just forgot I had a +5 to my attack when I did it, and I'm like, oh no, I rolled a 6. I forgot
The
how
zombie
D&D
will keep moving, kind of shamble over this way. And this one will shamble over that way. But they don't actually get attacks off this turn because they're too slow. Torum, you're on the other side there.
Yep.
What's the plan? What are you doing?
Okay, so am I right in thinking if I do a running jump, I have a better chance of making it across?
This was assuming you were doing a running jump anyway, because there
Okay,
was
cool.
no real reason why you wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So yeah.
Okay, acrobatics. Do I have
Acrobatics with
from the rope?
advantage, yeah, they're holding the rope out for you.
Sweet.
I am holding the rope.
That
It's-
Rakath has it.
I will admit,
Okay.
if you go down, it's very bad. Because Rakath is not as strong as he may look based on his height.
Okay.
But
So how much of my movement would that have used up? The 3 spaces? or-
That would be your action. So you can continue to move if you wish.
Okay.
just can't shoot
1.
this turn.
Is this
unless-
corridor small enough for me to shuffle through?
You can always move through a willing participant. That's the rules of being a ghost.
It's true.
Well, this is as far as I can get.
That's fine.
And you have a problem. But
you
I
wanna-
will-
He has a
Getting back.
slow problem. It's fine.
Do you want to stay 1 back and give me a little bit of space?
Sure.
That'd be
If he
great.
says, no,
I'm
as I'm
literally
running
gonna
up.
say to you, just like stay back.
This poor goblin's getting whiplash from from
The,
Torrens.
the goblin, when you do the... It's like... It like holds onto your head. Nearly drops the
Double
lantern. The
window.
lantern like clonks into his head when you land because of the motion of it. Dude is having a hard time. Raka.
Okay.
Oh, good. If I move through Voss, will they get attacks of opportunity on me if I land
That's
here?
a good question. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Then in
But you
that
gotta remember
case-
it's like a 5-foot room space, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I know, but also keep in mind Rakath is like, if he wasn't slouching, an 8-foot tall guy.
Exactly, you're a big guy bumbling through.
Yeah, like,
you are,
this is-
they're gonna get you.
Pardon me.
They're gonna get you.
You know what? I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take the
Mm-hmm.
attacks of opportunity, AC of 14. So if they're attacking me, please feel free.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. I can't give you advantage this turn, boss.
okay.
They do not hit you. The shamblers do reach out for you, but it is not
Yeah.
hit.
I kind of clamber over top of Voss's head, just stepping over him as much as possible. Lanky limbs. It's really gross. You feel a little bit of a bulbous touch your head. And then I'm gonna stand beside this Zambi and swing at him with my Koigonto.
Yes. That's a hit.
Yes.
And this is the one that was already injured, so it has the arrow in it, so it cuts away quite easily. There's very little resistance in the flesh of this creature. The sort of fungus doesn't seem to do as good of a job.
Good.
And keeping something animated. It doesn't go down, though.
Well, I'm going to use my cunning action to use my bonus action to run a little further so I can give Voss to dash. Specifically, I am dashing with my cunning action to give Voss advantage on that guy in case he wants it.
Okay.
I mean,
Boss.
I don't not want it.
Well, you know.
I'll give you one guess about what I'm going to do.
That is a hit.
Okay. For 11.
Okay. You slice through the shambling creature, clean cut from here to here, and the thing staggers as the head chuffs off, but doesn't go down, and then continues lurching towards you.
Perfect. So in that case, then I am going to move here, which I know will give him an attack of opportunity. But
Which is a miss, because it's a zombie.
Okay. Perfect. That's my turn.
Okay. Yuna.
I'm going to move forward. I can see the corner of one.
Can you?
Count? I can see the corner of one.
I mean, with disadvantage on whatever you're doing, yes.
They have cover.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
They have full cover with that, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know.
It's a hit.
Hilariously, 8.
Yeah.
Does that
It's
hit?
one of those, yeah, it's a zombie. Yeah, 8 is a hit.
You're very consistent. 8 every time.
Oh, that's good.
Hey.
damage, though.
No.
And the zombie does not go down.
You keep rolling something, which makes me think it has a constitution save to stay up even when it dies.
I don't know what
That
you're
makes
talking about.
You're not wrong.
It makes me
Okay.
sad, Ollie.
Next up is the zombles.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to... like, this one that had its head removed, kind of weakly, reaches its arms out for Voss as he moves away, and then its arms just kind of twist all the way back with a bone cracking sound and start wiggling their way towards Rakath. Rakath, what's your AC?
14.
Guess what they hit? A 14! Congratulations!
I'm the big winner!
You were distracted by the arms literally ripping
Yeah!
themselves back.
Tell him what
Successfully,
he's won, Ollie.
you win 2 bludgeoning damage!
Okay.
The one facing Voss is going to try and do the same. Voss, what's your AC? 15,
16.
right? 16! Whoa! They also just hit 16. These zombies are doing well.
I have become the lantern. My token has disappeared.
That's a very
Only the
Zen
lantern
thing to
remains.
say.
Voss, you're going to take a full 5 damage as the zombie manages to, like, scratch and the claws dig into you. And you realize it's not the claws, it's just that the flesh of the hands have eroded away to just be the bone. It's almost sharpened to a point. Torum.
So, Blap. Blap.
Take your pick.
The lantern
okay.
on the other side, if you can't see my token, I don't
You
know.
have a token
No, it's still
just
here for us!
Thank goodness. I'm going to refresh really quickly then.
Yeah. So I would have disadvantage from being in melee, but also advantage from the flanking.
You don't get flanking on range. You just have disadvantage on. If you want advantage, you can just back them with the side of the thing. Improvised weapon attack.
Hey, it's almost like you should have put in an improvised weapon into your character sheet.
Will has been talking about his improvised weapon macro all the time.
And you guys are gonna see it next turn if Torum stays where he is.
Torum cannot be an improvised weapon.
Why not? Can the goblin be an improvised weapon?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, I'm just gonna fire a disadvantage at this guy.
Yep. It's a hit. Because usually the reason why you have disadvantage is that a creature could push the weapon away or dodge quite easily. This is a zombie that has no head. But it does not fall. You kind of like shoot at the kind of core of the spine and the legs like stumble. But it's still up and still lumbering around.
You see, like Torum confused, like that was like a kill shot.
The goblin's like, shoot it again! Speaking of,
That's all.
Okay.
That's my turn.
this zombie will not go down.
Is that a giant spider on the initiative order?
Don't worry about it.
Oh fuck!
The answer is yes.
Well
So
done.
I'm gonna swing my hooded lantern at this zombie to try and
Successful
light it up
perception
with a flame
check.
a little bit.
That
Yeah.
could count as a torch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want it?
so-
Do you want it to count as a torch or an improvised weapon? Because torches do 1 fire damage.
improvised weapon? Because I want to bludgeon him with it in the face. Well,
Okay.
the lack of face, rather. So, improvised weapon strength, I assume, not dexterity, presumably.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Improvised weapon is nearly always going to be strength.
That's what I thought.
Improvised
I have
weapons are
both.
not finesse unless maybe you get some kind of cool magic item.
All right.
Which would
We'll
be
work
pretty
on
cool.
that. We'll work on that. With advantage on that Joker. Yeah. So I also have sneak attack on this. I'm assuming I can apply that to improvised
Oh,
weapons.
absolutely, yeah. You can apply sneak
Great.
attack to torch damage in sneak attack, making the sneak attack be fire damage.
Oh, that's
This
wow.
this showed up in something we did recently, and I was like, that's really neat.
What is the damage on this roll?
It's a
Mr.
light
Ollie?
improvised weapon, so D4.
So
should
D4?
it be? Yeah.
And just the one. And what kind of damage am I rolling? Bludgeoning?
Bludgeoning, yeah.
You got it, boss.
Most of the time it'll be bludgeoning.
Oh my
Why
god!
did oh, that was a sneak damage. I was like, why did it roll a D6?
You're like trying to get this thing to go down. You clobber it with the lantern, and again it stumbles, bumps into the wall, but does not
Oh my
stop
god!
moving. You actually can kind of see the purple fungus is kind of reconstituting over where areas of muscle have been cut and shorn, and it is just continuing to move.
Okay. I'm not gonna move. I'm just gonna stay where I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Sound of many legs hitting
The
the
sound
From
of many
around the
Oh,
corner,
there it is.
a
Yeah.
giant spider completely saturated with that purple fungus shambles. Every leg moves with a shake as it tentatively chooses a place to step, and it lumbers through with 8 black, lifeless eyes staring at you.
Hello, Poppet.
And that's all its turn. Voss.
I am going to attack this guy in front of me.
It's a hit.
Excellent.
Oh
It's
my
really good
God.
damage, too.
That is really good damage.
Unfortunately, the zombie does not fall.
Yeah, I
hate
assumed as much. Yeah, that's me. No reason to move.
Yuna! Yuna!
Yep, I am going to move forward. And I'm gonna attack the same zombie I attacked last time.
Uh-huh.
Do I still get disadvantage? I can see more than half of him now.
You're fine now, yeah. You're all good.
Sorry, it's going a
It's
little
so
bit slow still.
hot. I look more disheveled than
I could
usual
go
just due to
for
the
before
heat.
14.
How have you rolled 8 every single time?
It's a hit!
We know that it hits now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was going to be aiming it.
And with that, you step over and cast a spell, and the zombie finally collapses. Kind of the cuts that have been reconstituted by the fungus break apart, meaning like the little arms pop off the joints as it collapses with a really satisfying sound, like removing 2 Lego bricks.
That's a good noise.
It's a good noise. It's a good noise.
Anything else you
Especially
want
when
to
they've
do?
been like a little bit stuck.
And you use your official Lego brick separator. I have many of these.
Yeah, it is a thing.
It's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, it's a really good tool too. It's actually like genius design. Speaking of genius design, zombie turn. Zombies are going to scratch at Torum. Torum, what's your AC?
17.
It does not hit 17. And now it's your turn.
I'm going to take the opportunity attack and position myself.
Oh, it hits, boy! For 5 bludgeoning damage. As you try to get away,
big
its arm just like jams into like one of your joints and just pulls and twists.
Okay. Now my token's disappeared. That's okay though. Do I gotta have a clear shot on the spider from here?
Yes. I mean, Rakath's in the way, but that doesn't change anything.
Okay, then I'm gonna shoot the spider boy.
I do worry about Rakath giving cover to enemies at some point.
That's a hit.
I assume 24 was a hit.
Well,
Don't
just,
assume.
just because you're level 2 doesn't mean I'm gonna bring a Tarask against you or something.
Oh no.
Why not?
That is a
We can take it.
strong hit against this creature. The unnerving thing is that it barely reacts. You actually
fuck.
see the bolt like travel through the whole creature and leave a hole. And it doesn't
This
react.
is really disturbing.
Speaking of, Rakath!
I'm going to bonus action disengage, and then use my movement.
Disembark.
Sure. And I'm gonna,
No one gets these god tier references.
and I'm gonna shoot the spider boy with a bow.
It's a hit.
Hey, good news. It's a bad hit, but it's a hit.
Like most of the
Someday.
music from the 80s.
Hey.
Got him.
Hey.
Hey,
Creature
Spider Boy.
is going to move over and attack at Torum, but its motions are slow and jerky, and you can easily almost like backpedal away to stop yourself getting bitten by the creature's large, rotten mandibles. Voss!
I don't have advantage anymore, but you know what? That's okay. I'm gonna attack the guy in front of me
Uh-huh.
for 13.
And with that, the zombie is felled. Against the wall, splats,
Okay. And then I'm
comes
gonna,
meat.
Then I'm just gonna use that momentum, run straight forward, and position myself right here.
Uh-huh.
That's my turn.
Yuna, I see in chat you're complaining about having nothing
I
you
just
can
have
do.
fun. No. I doing stuff. Okay,
Sense emotion on the spider?
it's a possibility.
I would love to
you'll
play...
get-
That would be like a Scott character who just does sense emotion in combat
How
and doesn't do
do you
anything
have-
else.
You have the homebrew therapist feat.
Yeah.
Literally just someone walking into combat saying, "How are you feeling today?"
How are you
It's
feeling?
like
I'm
Undertale.
going to cast Chill Touch.
That is a hit.
Man, I had no idea you were.
What I can do. Yeah, I have my cantrips.
Yeah.
And of all the cantrips to choose, Chill Touch is like the best one.
That's
Most
the best
useful
name
one.
for sure.
No,
Yeah, I
it doesn't.
know.
Because it doesn't do cold damage and it isn't a touch attack. It has a really bad, archaic name.
I
that
completely
sucks.
agree.
But it
I
does
love the
sound
name.
cool.
Yes.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, it
Correct.
sounds cool, but it does not
Which is
match
why
the
it's the
spell.
best name.
Well, someone else who sounds cool is Torum Duros.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna move. Oh, is it not letting me move? Why are you not letting me move? There we go.
Because you might have been trying to move a lantern.
I think so. And then I'm gonna drop the crossbow, pull out the Tanto, and do one attack.
It's a hit.
Have advantage, but
Okay.
that's fine.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't even need it.
Okay. Now how's it looking after that hit?
It kind of you break apart core, the core internals of the spider, but it kind of crumples in, but it still kind of is lurching to attack you.
Okay, I'm gonna action surge and attack it again. This time, actually at advantage.
That's a hit.
Ooh, yeah.
Quite good.
And the spider does not go down. At this point, large holes are being carved in the exoskeleton of the giant spider that are just being filled with this pulsing purple fungal growth. Rakath.
Is there a spot where the purple fungal growth is more prominent within the body of the spider?
Yes, like I sort of described, it kind of has these big nexus points that almost make a fruit. That's kind of this big, almost ball of energy. And there's a couple of them, especially on the back.
Aim for one of those, if possible. Is that going to make my shot harder, or do I know?
There's no mechanic for that in D&D. I just kind of flavor it.
Fair enough. All right, I'm aiming for one of those specifically. The 19, and this will also have sneak attack damage.
Oh, and with that, actually, you kind of shoot an arrow through, and it pops this thing, and kind of releases these bright purple spores into the air that kind of glow with a little bit of light, and the creature crumples in on itself. It doesn't even do the thing that spiders do. It just kind of like collapses, and some of it almost dusts. As it hits the ground hard. Anyway, with that, it's a perfect time to take a break. While the goblin continues to scream.
As one does.
As a correct emotion here. You don't need to cast sense emotion on the goblin. It's pretty obvious. You are clear.